As the demand for movies has grown over the years, the budget of those movies has skyrocketed as well. In this day and age, Hollywood blockbusters can even cost a movie studio over $200 million. The era of high-budget movies began during the late 1970s. This list details some of the highest-budget movies ever produced. Number 10. King Kong. King Kong was filmed by Peter Jackson, who has been known to make some truly spectacular movies. As this movie involved a giant CGI creature, most of the movie's budget went towards animating and bringing it to life. During the production of the film, Peter decided to increase its runtime by an additional 30 minutes. This meant that the cost of the movie skyrocketed to $207 million, but it was all worth it because it was a critical and commercial success. Number 9. Tangled. You might be surprised to see the title of an animated movie among a list of the highest budget movies because usually they don't require that much capital to produce. Tangled, released in 2010, cost Disney $292 million to produce. The main reason for this number was that the movie was in production for around 6 years before being released. This was due to a couple of reasons, one of which included the lengthy hair that Rapunzel had in the film. But in the end, it was very high received among critics and audiences alike. Number 8. Terminator Salvation. This was the fourth entry in the Terminator franchise, but it was the costliest. The studio spent over $200 million to make this movie. This was caused by the director's insistence on making the sets in real life instead of creating them using CGI. Unfortunately, this was all to no avail. Upon its release, it got mixed reviews from critics and got the most amount of hate from fans of the Terminator series. Number 7. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron came right on the toes of the hugely successful Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which garnered massive praise among fans of the MCU. The budget allocated for this movie was a mind-boggling $290 million and was led by Joss Whedon. He had some experience in high-budget team-up movies, as he had also directed the first Avengers movie. It made Marvel around $1 billion in the global market. Number 6. World War Z. This has been called the most expensive zombie movie ever made. This was due to the insane sets that were constructed for this movie. Another reason was that after completing the film, the director decided to reshoot the entire third act. This was due to his dissatisfaction with the ending. Even after doing this, it did not receive much acclaim from critics who said that the final act was the worst part of the movie. Number 5. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Seeing as this was the penultimate movie of the Harry Potter franchise, expectations were high among critics. This movie had a budget of over $285 million due to the dramatic action sequences, among other reasons. In the end, all the efforts of the studio came to fruition as it gained commercial success. In the global box office, it gained over $1 billion. Number 4. Edge of Tomorrow. Seeing as this movie had Tom Cruise in its cast, it had to be spectacular. This translated to an immense budget of $178 million, involving mech suits for Tom and his co-stars. The production also involved recreating an entire beach on an isolated set, as they could not film on just any beach. After its release, it made just enough money to justify its existence. Number 3. John Carter. Not all high-budget movies are destined for success, as it was made abundantly clear to Disney. After years of trying to make the movie on par with the book it was based on, John Carter was released in 2012. Unfortunately, it was poorly received by the critics, who mentioned the lack of world building as one of its critical flaws. Even after spending $281 million, this movie failed at the box office. Number 2. Mad Max: Fury Road. George Miller's genius was evident in the movie Mad Max: Fury Road, as it changed from one terrain to another while dealing with multiple antagonists. This movie cost $150 million to make, but it was all worth it. Soon after it was released, this movie was considered a huge success by many critics and fans. Number 1. Waterworld. This movie had an astronomical budget of $276 million due to the many difficulties it faced during production. The main lead of the movie, Kevin Costner, was almost killed while shooting a stunt. When it was presented to audiences, it did not make much of an impression, and critics agreed. These were some of the most expensive movies that have ever been produced. These movies are a testament to all the hard work put in by the crews involved in its making. So while watching these movies, take a moment to appreciate just how much it took to bring these movies to life. Well, this brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't liked the video yet, so it's never too late, give it a thumbs up, people. We will see you soon in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.